something very bad is going to happen. And by the time you reach the ending, you realize it already did. The new Netflix series, Something Very Bad is Going to Happen, does not rely on cheap jump scares. Instead, it builds something more unsettling. A slow, inevitable collapse that feels almost personal. At first, it looks simple. A couple preparing for a wedding, a family gathering, some tension in the air. But then the cracks begin to show. The confirmed premise is clear. The story follows Rachel and Nikki, a couple heading toward marriage, while an ancient curse tied to Rachel's bloodline begins to surface. And that curse is brutally specific. If she marries someone who is not truly her soulmate, death follows, not just for her, but for others around her. That is not a metaphor. That is the rule. Now here is where the ending changes everything. In the final moments, Rachel does marry Nikki, but internally, she no longer believes he is her true soulmate. And in this story, belief is everything. As one explanation puts it, the curse activates when doubt replaces certainty, leading to a chain of deaths that spiral out of control. So, what actually happens in the ending? Fact, Rachel dies as a direct result of the curse. Fact, multiple characters also die as the curse spreads during the wedding. Fact, she is then resurrected as something called the Witness, a figure bound to oversee the curse moving forward. That is not theory. That is a confirmed narrative resolution. Now, let's address what people are speculating. Some viewers believe the ending represents emotional trauma or fear of commitment rather than a literal curse. Others argue the entire story is symbolic of modern relationships and doubt. These interpretations are interesting, but they are not confirmed by the story itself. The show presents the curse as real. The consequences are physical, not just psychological. So what is the deeper meaning? This is where the series becomes more than horror. The creator once described the idea behind the show as the fear of marrying the wrong person. And the ending takes that fear to its most extreme conclusion. What if doubt is not just emotional? What if it is fatal? That idea hits harder for an older audience because it reflects something real, not the curse, but the pressure behind life decisions. Marriage, commitment, choosing the right partner. The show exaggerates it into horror, but the core anxiety feels grounded. So what is the takeaway? The ending is not about shock value. It is about consequence. Rachel becomes a witness not because she failed, but because she hesitated. That hesitation becomes a defining moment of her fate. And that leads to one uncomfortable question. How often do we move forward in life while quietly doubting our own choices? In the end, the series does not just show something bad happening. It suggests something worse. That sometimes the moment everything falls apart is not when you act. It is when you are no longer sure.